Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mondays at Noon with Barb. What I talk about here is, we're gonna bust through all the myths and misinformation that's out there about your health, and I'm gonna tell you the truth because somebody needs to start doing that. A lot of people are getting sick, they're confused, they're not sure what to eat, what to do. So every Monday at noon, I will be here sharing some more information with you that could possibly help you, okay? So last week we talked about symptoms. I went into a little bit about taking medications and, about how sometimes a lot of times the medications are just merely Band-Aids for your symptoms, okay? Doctors are not going deep enough to find out what the root cause is of your symptoms. And we know that a lot of these diseases and symptoms are food driven. So it's what we're putting into our body that is dictating what's going on inside our body, symptoms, disease, etc. So I don't think I mentioned this last week, and I just wanted to digress for a minute before I go into chemicals. To make this really clear, like say for an example, if you're taking my favorite Prevacid for heartburn, okay, that is merely a Band-Aid for your symptom, right? It's going to take away the symptoms of your gas or heartburn, whatever it is. And what happens is, because these issues are food driven, if you do not change what you're eating and get on a healthier track, it will just express itself somewhere else. Case in point, I did a presentation and a woman was there and she loved Gatorade. But after I shared about Gatorade, she said, "Oh my God, I drink that every day." And I said, well, and she was, diabetic at this point. But she had started out with high cholesterol. That was her initial diagnosis, high cholesterol. And we know that sugar raises your cholesterol, so Gatorade's loaded with sugar. So, she was drinking Gatorade, and then down the road, like I asked her how much longer after the high cholesterol diagnosis did she get diabetes, and it was about a year later. So that's the case in point. First she had high cholesterol, she really didn't do anything about it, or what she did, she didn't get rid of some things that she should have. And then lo and behold, down the road, she gets diagnosed with diabetes. So that's what I wanted to make clear, that if you do not change what you're eating, make dietary changes, whatever you're experiencing, it will express itself somewhere else, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear because it's really important to know that. So I said that I was going to dive into chemicals today, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So the first one that really drives me crazy, that you can go to the store and find it on practically every ingredient label, and that is natural flavorings. And I used to think all the time, what the heck are natural flavorings? Like, if they're so natural, why can't they put them on the ingredient list? And I came to find out down the road that, as many as 100 different chemicals can hide behind the label of natural flavorings. And I've even seen it on organic products as well. So, buyer beware. Read those ingredient labels, and if you're seeing natural flavorings, put it back. Because as they accumulate in your system, that's how, symptoms begin and then disease thrives. So that's numero uno for me. And I have this book, The Food Babe, which I encourage you to get. I love The Food Babe. She really is the one that goes after all these big corporations and she goes after them to change their ingredients. She really exposes them for what they're doing. So I love her to pieces. And so I'm going to cover, she has in here, what are the chemicals we eat, the sickening 15. So I'm going to go over maybe 3 today because I don't want to stay any longer than absolutely 10 minutes for sure. But I want you to know what's going on with our food and how important it is. So she starts out here, you've heard the expression, you are what you eat. Let me rephrase it. You are the chemicals that you eat. Okay? They make you tired. They put you through skin dramas like rashed, blemished, or dry skin. They make you feel fat and miserable. Even though you've been dieting and exercising like crazy, they put you at risk for scary, life-shortening disease like cancer. Okay? And you don't know how many people I talk to that say, I eat well and I work out 3-4 times a week, but I can't seem to lose any weight. Well, you need to listen up, okay, because this is important. Number 1 on the list are growth hormones in meat. So I'm just going to read this one paragraph because it really says it better than I could sum it up. In 2009, 2 Japanese researchers published a startling study in Annals of Oncology. They pointed out that there had been a surge in hormone-dependent cancers that roughly parallels the surge of beef consumption in Japan. Over the last 25 years, hormone-dependent cancers such as breast, ovarian, endometrial, and prostate cancer rose 5-fold in that country. More than 25% of the beef imported to Japan comes from the United States, where livestock growers regularly use the growth hormonal steroid estradiol. The researchers found that the U.S. beef had much higher levels of estrogen than Japanese beef because of the added hormones. This finding led them to conclude that eating a lot of estrogen-rich beef could be the reason for the rising incidence of these life-threatening cancers. The United States is one of the only industrialized countries that still allows their animals to be injected with growth hormones. So go figure, right? I'm not going to go into a lot of it's going into our really complicated things, but that's enough to make you want to take a second look. And next we go to antibiotics. Okay? Antibiotics are routinely given to livestock to make them fat. Well, they just might do the same thing to you. How is that possible? Antibiotics kill off healthy bacteria, as well as the bad, in the gut, beneficial bugs called probiotics that influence how we absorb nutrients, burn off calories, and stay lean. Scientists have found that lean people have more of the good antibioticity bacteria in their guts compared to people who are overweight. Okay, so it's, on the average, children get as many as 20 antibiotic treatments while they're growing up. Antibiotics in food are hard to escape. Unless a package is labeled accordingly, you can pretty much guarantee that antibiotics have been used to produce meat and dairy products such as cheese, milk, sour cream, and ice cream. So it's really, in that study of the children have 20 antibiotic treatments, in a study of children in Britain, researchers showed that kids who were prescribed a lot of antibiotics were fatter at age 7 and age 15 than children who did not receive many of these drugs. Next, we're going to go to pesticides, which is my biggest pet peeve. Pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides are sprayed on fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds. Virtually everything grown in nature, and they're among the most toxic substances on Earth, doing untold damage to our bodies. One of the worst pesticides is glyphosate, commonly known by the trade name Roundup, which is produced by the chemical biotech company Monsanto, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard about that. This company patented seeds and created crops that are resistant to glyphosate through genetic engineering. Because of this, U.S. farmers started using more of it. See, they genetically modified them so they could spray the weeds around the crops without killing the crop. But although the crop isn't being killed, it's still laden with this glyphosate, this pesticide spray. We now know from research that glyphosate found in genetically modified foods is a toxin that can accumulate in your body the more you are exposed to it. It has been linked to kidney disease, breast cancer, and some birth defects. It compromises our immunity, and it slows down your metabolism. It's really, really bad stuff. One thing that totally baffles us is the word conventional. Like you'll see in stores, organic versus conventional, like I know Whole Foods does that. One thing that totally baffles us is that the word conventional is used to describe produce that is grown with pesticides. There is nothing conventional about using toxic chemicals to grow food. So I want to stop there, and then we'll begin again with refined and enriched flours. That's another scary thing. So I wanted to do this with you because I know a lot of people don't realize, I'm back, what's really in their food and what they're eating on a daily basis. And then they wonder why they can't lose weight, why they're fatigued, bloat, joint pain, brain fog, all of the stuff that we went over before. So it's my mission to expose you to this and enlighten you in a way that, you can make your own decisions, healthier ones, hopefully. So that's it for me today. Have an awesome day. Again, it's another sunny, beautiful day here. So see you next time. If you have any comments or questions about what I've shared here, by all means, post it below, and have a great week.